أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of God, most merciful and compassionate. In this session, I'm going to explain one of the wise sayings of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and it's a wise saying which Imam Ali alayhi salam addressed to Kumayl Ibn Ziyad al-Nakha'i. Of course, most of the Shia Muslims are familiar with the supplication of Kumayl, which he learned or acquired from Imam Ali. That's why Kumayl Ibn Ziyad is very famous in the Shia world. And Kumayl Ibn Ziyad al-Nakha'i was one of the trustees, one of the Shias on whom Imam Ali relied heavily, and he was also a governor on behalf of Imam Ali for a period of time. Finally, Kumayl Ibn Ziyad was killed by Hajjaj ibn Yusuf. In other words, he was martyred ultimately. Kumayl was a very devout and pious man. That's why Imam Ali alayhi salam loved him greatly because of his piety, devoutness, and taqwa, or fear of God. قال Kumayl ibn Ziyad. Kumayl ibn Ziyad, this great man and devotee of Imam Ali alayhi salam, says, أخذ بيدي أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام فأخرجني إلى الجبان فلما أسحر تنفس السعداء. He says, Imam Ali alayhi salam took me by the hand. فأخرجني إلى الجبان, and he took me to the cemetery. Jabban or Jabbana means cemetery. فَلَمَّا أَسْهَرَ. فَلَمَّا أَسْهَرَ, I mean that when he entered the desert, when he entered an open space. تَنَفَّسَ السُّعَدَاء. Imam alayhi salam heaved a deep sigh. He sighed deeply and sadly. He heaved a deep sigh. ثم قال. Then Imam said, Ya Kumayl ibn Ziyad. Imam is addressing Kumayl ibn Ziyad. إن هذه القلوب أوعية فخيرها أوعاها. إن هذه القلوب, it means that the hearts within us, أوعية, are like containers, are like vessels. فخيرها أوعاها. As Imam says, each heart is like a container. Of course, by the heart, Imam doesn't mean the physical heart, but the spiritual heart, which can retain or preserves al-akhlaq wal-ma'nawiyat, spiritual matters, virtues, or whatever we learn or acquire, whatever is a spiritual or ethical nature. So each heart, the spiritual heart, not the physical heart, Imam says is a container which contains whatever is of an ethical or spiritual matter. For example, whatever we acquire through learning, studying, or whatever virtue which we acquire, and so on. But the physical container is what which contains a material within itself, like water, for example. Therefore, the heart, I mean the spiritual heart, is like a physical container which contains, for example, water or whatever else of a physical nature within itself. Then Imam says, فَخَيْرُهَا أَوْ آهَا. The best heart. The best heart is one which preserves or retains al-ulum wal-ma'arif, knowledge, spiritual science within itself. As long as possible. So the best heart is that which returns within itself in the best possible manner whatever knowledge is acquired. Then Imam says, this is one of the best wise sayings. فَحْفِظْ عَنِّي مَا أَغُولَ لَكَ O Kumayl, keep whatever I say to you. What does it mean? It means that Imam is going to tell Kumayl some of the secrets which he should preserve within his heart. What are the secrets which Imam is going to tell Kumayl? Then Imam goes to say, An-nasu thalatha. Imam says, people are of three kinds. All the people, according to Imam Ali alayhi salam, can be divided into three parts. Or all the people can fall into three categories. فَعَالِمٌ رَبَّانِي. The first class of people are Alimun Rabbani. Alimun Rabbani, a divine scholar. A divine scholar. I mean that an alim, or one who acquires knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لأنه تعلم وعمل لله سبحانه. An alim rabbani, in English, which can be translated as a divine or spiritual scholar, is one who learns, who acquires knowledge, and who acts for Allah the glorious and no more. That's an alim rabbani. As Sadi says, عابد و عارف و صوفی همه را عضو بنه، مرد اگر هست بجز عالم ربانی نیست. Sadi, the famous Persian poet, says, عابد و عارف و صوفی همه را عضو بنه. Abandon. Whoever is called Abid, devout, Arif, Gnostic, Sufi, همه را عضو بنه. Abandon them. Leave them all. مرد اگر هست بجز عالم ربانی نیست. The true scholar is one who acquires knowledge for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and who acts for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, for example, Al-Shaykh Al-Mufid alayhi al-Rahmah, Al-Allama Al-Hilli alayhi al-Rahmah, As-Saduq alayhi al-Rahmah, and so on. فَعَالِمٌ Rabbani. The second class of people, the second category, ومتعلم على سبيل نجاة. The second class of people, the second type, is one who acquires ilm, ولكن, but he doesn't attain to the rank of alim. He doesn't attain or reach to the rank of alim. وَتَعْلَمُ لِنِجَاةِ نَفْسِهِ. He acquires knowledge in order to save himself or herself. To save himself. وَلَا لِلرِّيَاءِ وَمَا أَشْبَهُ. He doesn't acquire knowledge for hypocrisy in order to show off, in order to show up, in order to say, I've got a PhD, I am a learned man, I am so and so. No, 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 no. He just acquires knowledge. He just learns in order to save himself. Not for riya, not for show up, and the like. And the third category, وَحَمَجٌ رَأَى. Hamaj in Arabic means small fly. ذُبَابٌ صَغِيرٌ يَغَى عَلَى كُلِّ مَكَانٍ, which enters every place. For example, a fly. A fly is one which enters everywhere. Ra'a are the inexperienced people. Inexperienced people. The ruffians, the riffraff, the ragtag. I mean the people who are not experienced and who have no insight. The third category is the lowest category. The common people who don't understand well, who have no insight and who have no sufficient inexperience. In other words, the third class of people are like mosquitoes or gnats, G-N-A-T-S, which goes to every place. And as they are very small, I mean the people, insignificant or too inexperienced, they don't understand and they are not ripe enough, experienced enough. Generally speaking, based on these three criteria, one should assess oneself and see into which category one falls. Alimun Rabbani or Muta'allimun ala sabili najah or Hamajun Ra'a. Which one? I myself, which category I myself fall into? I should assess myself from within as fairly and justly as possible. أتباع كل نائغ. It means that they incline either to truth or falsehood. They follow whatever they see fit, whatever they see fit, or whatever can safeguard their benefits and so on. أتباع كل نائغ. They follow whatever is either true or false. يميلون مع كل ريح. They go with whatever wind. They go with the wind. Do in Rome as Romans do. Do in Rome as Romans do. In Persian, خواهی نشوی رسوا هم رنگ جماعت شو. Do in Rome as Romans do. يميلون مع كل ريح. It means that they go in whatever direction. In the same way as the herbs or the petals of the flowers go in whatever direction the wind blows. أعشاب كما تميل الأعشاب. أعشاب is the plural of ush. Ush means plant, herb. Or like the feathers, which blow in whatever direction the wind blows. يميلون مع كل ريح. ريح, whose plural is riyah, or ariyah means wind. لم يستزيعوا بنور العلم. Right. لم يستزيعوا بنور العلم. It means that they are not enlightened by the light of knowledge. They lack the true light of knowledge. They lack that knowledge which is intended by Imam Ali alayhi salam. That is the light of true knowledge. وَلَمْ يَلْجَعُوا إِلَى رُكْنٍ وَثِيقٍ. They don't take the true path. The true path, the firm rope. They don't take, or they didn't take the true path which they believe. يا كميل العلم خير من المال. Oh Kumayl, knowledge is better than wealth or property. Imam says. In the past, I remember when I was a primary student, usually some of the school teachers presented this topic in order for the students write a composition on. Is knowledge better or wealth? It was the topic. Is knowledge better or wealth? Imam Ali says, Al-ilmu khayrun min al-mal. Of course, it doesn't mean that we should forget about wealth or money at all. No. What is meant by ilm here is true knowledge. True knowledge. That specific knowledge which is cast by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into the heart of one whom He wishes. That knowledge. Al-ilmu khayrun min al-mal. Why? Because al-ilmu yahrusuka. Knowledge guards you. Knowledge protects you. Because knowledge guides us to the path of salvation. Knowledge shows us the path of salvation and the path of destruction. The path of wickedness. Both. Through knowledge, I mean. Not physics, chemistry. By knowledge, Imam does not mean physics, chemistry, the natural or experimental sciences. Of course, it will be very nice if anyone acquires such disciplines. But what is Imam meant by knowledge is true knowledge. I will explain, I will give further explanation of knowledge, of ilm later on, inshallah ta'ala. I have a lot to say, inshallah ta'ala. وَأَنْتَ تَحْرَسُ الْمَالِ, while you guard and protect wealth. Why? Because wealth is that which can be robbed, stolen, and so on. So I should be very careful about my house, even about whatever I have, even the laptop, while carrying it in a briefcase or in a bag, lest it be snatched by a snatcher in the street. فَيَجْتَنَبُ الْإِنسَانُ طَرِيقَ الْحَلَاكِ, so that man can avoid the path of wickedness, the path of fall, spiritual fall. This is one of the benefits or merits of true knowledge. وَأَنْتَ تَحْرُسُ الْمَالِ, as Imam says, because wealth needs me in order to protect it. As I said, otherwise it will be taken away, robbed, or stolen. Then Imam mentions one of the other merits of ilm, and one of the negative characteristics of mal. وَالْمَالُ تَنْغُسُهُ النَّفَقَةِ, wealth or property, wealth will decrease by spending it. The more I spend, the less my money will be. وَالْمَالُ تَنْغُسُهُ النَّفَقَةِ, by spending it. وَالْعِلْمُ يَسْكُو عَلَى الْإِنفَاقِ, while knowledge will increase by offering it, by teaching it, by disseminating it. Ilm will grow and increase. For example, if I teach, by teaching, I will get much more experience, even I will learn much more. And even ilm will become firmly embedded in my memory and in my mind. Whatever knowledge I acquire, it will be embedded in my heart, in my mind, as we understand. وَالسَّنِيعُ الْمَالِ يَزُولُ بِزَوَالِهِ, it means that mal or wealth will decrease and decrease. While ilm will remain to continue, because ilm is that which never cease to be, In this regard, Ibn Abi al-Hadi, in his commentary upon the Nahjul Balagha, says very beautifully in this regard. He says, in this regard, when man dies, knowledge will continue to be, even in barzakh. Knowledge will never never leave me, abandon me.
Which knowledge?
Whatever knowledge, but here by knowledge is true knowledge. Even whatever we memorize, we will not lose it, even in barzakh. But here what Imam says here is that صنيع العلم يبقى لأن العلم باغ غير زائل. For example, when I die, I will lose whatever I have got during my lifetime, for example, including a house or whatever else. But I will carry my knowledge, especially from my knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my knowledge of the Quran, and whatever with me to the other world. العلم يا كميل ابن زياد العلم دين يدان به العلم دين. It means that ilm is like religion which guides man. Ilm is like a path, like a clear path, which I can take in order to be guided. And the best, and that's the ilm ad-din, the knowledge of religion, and for which we will be rewarded. به يكسب الإنسان الطاعة في حياته. Ilm is that through which we will obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during our lifetime. This is one of the other benefits of ilm. But what is really meant by ilm in this regard, in this context, is ilm ad-din, true knowledge. وجميل الأحدوثة بعد وفاته. The best thing which is spoken of after the death of Allah is speak of his knowledge. And even the people praise him for his knowledge. For example, Al-Mufid, As-Saduq, for example, who left behind a lot of works. And the Shia Muslims generally praise Saduq for his great and major contributions to Islam, to Shia Islam. And because of the major works as left behind by him after his death. والعلم حاكم والمال محكوم عليه. Ilm is that which shows us, which tells us, which helps us where to spend the money or the mal or the wealth, and where not to spend it. So ilm rules over wealth, because it is in the light of ilm which we will learn how to spend it, where to spend it and where not to spend it, where it is permissible to spend it, where it is not permissible to spend it. It is permissible to buy what is halal or religiously permitted, and not to buy and not to spend on what is haram or religiously prohibited. This is what is meant by Imam alayhi salam. وَالْعِلْمُ حَاكِمٌ وَالْمَالُ مَحْكُومٌ عَلَيْهِ. يا كميل هلك خزان الأموال وهم أحياء. Halaka, those who have preserved or stored Amwal, properties, have perished while they are alive. Khuzan is the plural of khazin, preserve. It means that people don't remember them even if they be alive. People don't praise them. وَالْعُلَمَاء بَاقُونَ مَا بَغِيَتْ دَهْرٌ. While the scholars, the true men of learning, will continue to be as long as time lasts. أعيانهم مفقودة وأمثالهم في القلوب موجودة. Even if they die physically, but their memories will continue to live in the hearts of people. Even if they die, but people will never forget them. People love them and also praise them. ها إنها هنا لعلما جما لو أسبت له حملا. Then Imam here refers to the merit of knowledge and its excellence over mal. Imam says, if I find anyone who can bear my knowledge, who can carry my knowledge, who can be worthy of my ilm, I will transfer my ilm to him. I will reveal my ilm to him. It means that not everybody is worth of receiving or acquiring the knowledge of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Not everybody. So not everybody merits acquiring the knowledge of Imam, except somebody like Kumayl. Then Imam points to his chest. Chest. It means that the chest is the chest or the treasure of knowledge, the place of knowledge. Imam points to his chest. It means that I will transfer, I will teach the knowledge which is within my chest to anyone who is worth of being taught. Then Imam goes on to say, Bala, asabtu laghinan غير مأمون عليه. Imam says, I found a lot of people who understand very quick, but I can't rely on them. But they cannot be relied on. There might be a lot of people who might be acute, who are quick of understanding, and who might have a lot of knowledge. At the same time, Imam says, they cannot be relied on. I cannot transfer my knowledge to them. It means they are not fully qualified in order to be taught by me, in order to present them with that through knowledge which is deposited within my chest. No. Laghenan. Laghenan means having understanding well. هو الذي يفهم بسرعة. Laghen is a person who understands fast. quick. Those who use knowledge for the world in order to benefit from the world. No. Then Imam says, I will not teach them. Or Imam means the people, most of the people who intend nothing, who intend nothing by knowledge, or who don't use knowledge except for the world. No, Imam says no, I will not teach them. Because those people might use even the knowledge of Imam for the benefits of the world, for worldly benefits. No. Imam says that he won't teach such people. مستعملا آلة الدين في الدنيا. Those people who use religion as a tool, as an instrument for dunya, for the world. Or those people who use knowledge which should guide them to religion, but they use it for dunya. Those people who use even the knowledge of religion for dunya. There are so many religious scholars, so-called religious scholars, who even use ilm-ud-din, the religion of knowledge, for dunya. The source, Tuhaf al-Ughul. At about the end of Tuhaf al-Ughul, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, in his last will and testament to Mufazzal ibn Umar, who was one of the closest companions of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Imam there says, al-ulama are of three types. Imam curses two categories of those ulama. Why? Because they use ilm-ud-din for their personal benefits. وَمُسْتَحْذِرًا بِنَعِمِ اللَّهِ عَلَى عِبَادِهِ. يستعين بنعمة الله إذا أتاه سبحانه على إيذاء الناس. They are the people who use ni'am Allah, the blessings of God, the bounties of God, for teasing, for annoying people, for oppressing people. They use the bounties as given by Allah subhanahu to them for annoying people, for oppressing people, for exploiting people, and so on. Mustahziran. Or they show up their knowledge in order to show their excellence over other people. Imam said that he won't teach such people. Those people who take pride in their own knowledge, who boast of their own knowledge. وَبِهُجَجِهِ عَلَىٰ أَوْلِيَائِهِ. Even if they, for example, they learn, or if they become skillful in rational reasonings, or even if they become skillful in offering rational proofs, for example, for the existence of God or for whatever else, whatever they do is that they boast of their own rational knowledge, of their philosophical knowledge. For example, I'm a philosopher. I am skillful in philosophical discussions. I can offer as many proofs as possible for the existence of God and so on. They show off this way. No. Imam says, these people, such people are not worth of being taught by me. The people who use religion as a tool for worldly benefits. The people who boast of their own knowledge. The people who take pride in their own knowledge. And the people who boast of their own philosophical or rational power while facing ala awliyaihi, the friends of God. O mungadan لحملة الحق. Then Imam refers to other point. But before going on, there is one point which I would like to mention here in order to say what is really meant by ilm that Imam refers to here. There is a long hadith as narrated from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam to Unban al-Basri. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, Ya Aba Abdullah, ليس العلم بالتعلم. O Aba Abdullah, knowledge is not by learning. Knowledge is not acquired by learning. Knowledge does not mean learning. إنما هو نور يغو في قلب من يريد الله تبارك وتعالى أن يهديه. Ilm surely is that knowledge which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala casts into the heart of whoever He wills in order to guide him. It means that going to school, acquiring the highest degree, is neither a sufficient condition nor a necessary condition for acquiring the true knowledge. So this is the true knowledge. So the Aimma, the 14 infallible personalities, contain within themselves the light of knowledge in its true sense. And it is through the light of their own knowledge that the hearts of other people, of their followers, will be enlightened or illuminated. Again, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, يَغْدُ النَّاسُ عَلَى ثَلَاثَةِ أَصْنَافٍ. People are of three groups. Alimun, as Imam Ali, alim, one who possesses knowledge. Muta'allim, one who learns. Wa ghutha'in. Ghutha, in its synonym in English can be scum. Scum. S-C-U-M. S-C-U-M. Scum. What is meant by a scum? A scum means the unpleasant, dirty substance which forms on the surface of water. On the surface of water. Like the green weeds or the green herbs which form on the surface of the water of a pond. The unpleasant dirt. So, alim, one who acquired the religion of the knowledge of religion, who acquires religion for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to be guided and in order to act for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is muta'allim, or alim, one who possesses true knowledge. And the third group are like the scum, the unpleasant, dirty substance which forms on the surface of water. Then, now, Imam makes it clear, very beautiful. فَنَحْنُ الْعُلَمَاء. Al-alim, in its true sense, it just apply to the Aimah. Imam Sadiq said, we, the Aimah, we, the fourth, just we are al-ulama and no more. Why? Because it is just the Aimah alayhum as-salam who are the treasure stores of true knowledge. And وَشِيعَتُنَا الْمُتَعَلِّمُونَ, our followers are those who acquired that knowledge from us. So al-Aimah alayhim as-salam are al-ulama. If inshallah we are a Shia, we should acquire knowledge from them. This is what is made by ilm in Nahjul Balagha, in this wise saying by Imam Ali alayhi salam. So this hadith clarifies. And Imam says, وَالسَّائِرُ النَّاسِ غُثَاء. The other people are غُثَاء. So, according to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, al-Aimah alayhi salam, just Aimah alayhi salam are al-ulama in the true sense. If I say I am alim, or if anyone, for example, considers himself to be an alim, knowledgeable, or for example, expert in a discipline like physics, chemistry, nuclear physics, and so on, not alim in the true sense. Sa'irun nas, the rest of the people, are no more than scum. Just like the dirty, unpleasant substance which forms on the surface of water. وَأَمَّا as for Aimah alayhi salam, Aimah alayhi salam acquired their knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and no more. The Aimah alayhi salam have no need of learning from anybody else. They have been taught by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's all. But the other people, like us, should follow their knowledge and their deeds. Again, there is another hadith in this for further clarification. A hadith from Imam Baqir alayhi salam, who says, إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ أَحَدٌ عِنْدَهُ علم شيء إلا خرج من عند أمير المؤمنين علي عليه السلام. Imam says, verily,